right, we are officially back, the Berg boys. We were all together this past weekend down the great town of Reedsburg. My name's Mike Lennon. I'm with Matt Lennon, Chris Roschel, Jeremy Greenwood. Let's start with Jay Green. I know we were obviously all together for a few days there, but how was the weekend?
Weekend went well. It was nice to see you guys. I think we'll jump in to the draft a little bit later. I'm actually content with how the draft went. The draft itself.
The actual draft.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of golf, and I usually play like 4 or 5 times a summer, and I got 2 of them out of the way right away here in May. So Sunday was a benefit for RWD, raised over $20,000 for the association.
Nice.
I don't know the exact number or anything like that. Mike, you were gracious enough to donate some NC college gear. And so it was just pretty cool to see like that and all the business kind of come together. And actually, didn't say this, Mike, but Jake Dowell donated a signed stick there.
Oh, that's cool.
He was in
Ex-Badger.
the tournament. Yeah. I mean, it was just really nice. We had just a boatload of people there. We had to turn away 6 foursomes.
Wow.
And so next year, hopefully we can get everybody in. But other than that, it was nice seeing you guys. Like I said, hung out, had some adult beverages, and that's pretty much it.
A couple too many. Matt, how was the weekend?
Yeah, weekend was good. Like we talked about, it was great to see you guys. Spent 2 days with you guys, and then on Saturday, got up. Big Mike went asparagus hunting. I did not get up early enough to go with him. But Saturday we headed down to McFarland, me, Sarah, and her parents to visit her sister Larissa and her boyfriend Aaron, their new place down in McFarland. So that was fun. Went out to eat with them. Just kind of hung out. And then Sunday we came back. We actually had to go get some vegetables at this vegetable flower farm.
Oh, okay.
And it was about a good another 45 minutes past lacrosse. So, that was fun, to say the least.
Okay. Rosh, how was your other few days of the weekend?
It was good. I flew in Wednesday night, and so I got to be home Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then flew out bright and early Monday morning to come back. Me and Cash Money made the trip. Hung out with you guys most of Thursday and Friday. Saturday, got to go to my farm. It was, 80 degrees and sunny, and so Cash got to go there, play on the beach, and play on the swing set and just hang out. I was riding my 4-wheeler around in the woods, checking on deer stands. It's very rare at this time of the year that I can get all the way into the backwoods because of, washout on the trails or mud or rain, whatever. It's usually super wet, and it was crazy dry at the time. It probably changed after Sunday's storm, but it was awesome to get all the way back in there, because in the back part of our woods, we have about 300 acres in that back part. I haven't seen it, very often unless I walk back there. So it was cool just to be in the peace and quiet in the woods and just be cruising around on the 4-wheeler, and Cash loves being on it too. So it was cool to just be able to cruise around with him on Saturday. Sunday was with Jay Green in the RWD golf outing, and have a pretty funny story about that. I got the new Sim 2 driver, pretty jacked up about it. First hole is longest drive. And I know you guys know this, but pretty much the only reason I enjoy golfing is because I enjoy driving. Like, that's it. Like, not driving the golf cart, but like literally hitting the ball as far as I can. And so, of course, it's Lake 9 at Trappers, and it's longest drive, and it's the first hole. That's the first hole we go to. And of course, Jesse Greenwood and Matt Olson and Cortland Maxfield and Andrew Schulenberg are right behind us, so they're watching us tee off. And I hit a really, really good one. I smashed it.
All good, Chris.
And about 10 holes later, We're at this hole that has a big drop off, and so they have a spotter at the top of the hill to tell you what you on the group in front of you is cleared. And it's this
What
old
hole
guy.
was that on Canyon?
Yeah, it's on Canyon.
Oh, okay.
It's hole. Was it hole? I don't even know. Was it hole 9? I think it might have been hole 9 on Canyon. Yeah, it is hole 9. It's the one that you can see the green right by the putting green there on the back side. And we hit it down the hill. I'm down there, and literally this old guy basically is running down the hill to tell me something. And he asked me if that was my drive on Lake 9. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, we just got off the phone with the zoo. You got to be back by 5. And he ran all the way down the hill just to tell me that joke. And he just thought he was cracking up. He thought it was hilarious. But they actually had a guy. They had a guy with some sort of yardage marker device, and they had to. They went and saw how far it was, and they said it was 384. So that was pretty sweet.
Just a little humble brag for yourself.
Yeah, just a little bit. But one thing that me and Jay Green have discovered with golf is 13 to 14, maybe 15 holes. I'm focused. I'm locked in. Man, it's the last couple holes we just checked out.
Yeah.
And it didn't help that it started raining towards the end too. But it was a blast. So I spent Sunday there. Sunday night went to my sister's house to hang out with them for just a couple hours, and then had the old 2:15 a.m. alarm because our flight was at 6 a.m. out of Milwaukee. So we had to leave at I forgot what time we left at 2:45. I think we left the house, and right to school from the airport. And so I'm a little tired, a little exhausted, but it was a great, much enjoyed, much needed weekend in Wisconsin.
There you go. Yeah, no, I was the first to leave. I had to leave Friday after golf, but obviously had a lot of good times. And Thursday night, Friday, had golf. Went to you guys on Friday at Trappers. We had 6 games here on campus this weekend, 2 softball, 2 soccer, and 2 baseball games, so that I had to work. By the time I was done writing all the stories on Saturday, I think it was like 1:30 in the morning. So Sunday was pretty low key. Didn't do too much. So let's get right into this, because we were together when the news of this broke. Aaron Rodgers, and we would love to hear the people that are tuning in what your guys' thoughts were, or if you guys have any thoughts on this situation. But I guess my first question to you guys, just when we heard the news, what were your guys' first initial just thoughts of this?
I mean, I think let's backtrack a little bit. Like 2 weeks ago, leading up to this, national media is kind of playing this along. And if, I would have been like, there's absolutely no truth to this. And I even think, Mike, we were listening to, who was that, Charlie Weiss and the gang there, and on the car ride down, and they came up with that rumor that San Fran, I think, reached out with a trade. And I sent it to the group, I think, and I was just like, oh, man, there's no way. Like, what are we talking about here? And then I think, a couple hours later, that's when it broke. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, when there's smoke, there's fire. You got to imagine, an organization just doesn't send their GM, their coach, and the president just to go do, check-ins with their star QB. That's just, unless something's up. So it's hard to say. Obviously, you guys know this. I'm a huge Rodgers fan. I can't see the team next year without him under center, but I don't know. You listen to the Green Bay's ESPN guy. He says there's a less than 5% chance that Rodgers is the quarterback. How he comes up with those numbers, I have no idea. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to believe it. But like I said, where there's smoke, there's got to be fire.
And Jeremy, I want you to answer this too. Like, what were your first initial thoughts of the situation, and then along with what Matt said as well, like, do you think Aaron Rodgers will be the starting quarterback game one?
So what's interesting about that is, like, I think we were outside in my backyard when the news broke or something like that, and
I think so.
my brother messaged me. He's like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "You seen what?" Like, we've been watching the draft. Literally, we step outside, and then it like feels like it breaks. We come back down, and we're like, "What's going on?" And this guy's saying that Adam needs to get some sleep. Schefter is saying this and that. That's his job, is to create. It's like, it seems like it's to create drama, like to just get things going. I unfollowed him on Twitter. It pissed me off a little bit. So you're gonna have to earn that one back, Adam. But here's my stance. Well, and I got a couple, and they're critical takes, like usual, I guess. But one, we haven't heard him say anything. He hasn't said a word about any of this. It's just been other people, and Goot said a little bit. And the fact that you're not saying anything, like, are you enjoying this? Like, what's your deal, man? Like, what are you getting out of that? Like, are you enjoying this all this attention on you? Because it's all on you.
And like, kind of piggybacking off that, like, I mean, he could either squash it if he said something, or he could, like, I think Mike, you might have been gone when we were talking about it, but remember how I was just, I don't know if I think I said it, but how I was just like, you know what? I'd rather have him just come out and say, like, I want to be traded. Compared to this, like,
I would. That's a great point. Instead of like, okay, what are we doing?
Like, what are you doing? I don't get it.
The only thing I'll say is Rodgers has not said anything yet. So it's all been okay. Well, we heard this, or but then the thing yesterday was like, oh, he wants Goot fired. Like, I don't agree with that at all. Like as much as like maybe sometimes we don't agree with like maybe what some of his draft picks. Like, he has done a lot of good things to. I mean, yes, Aaron Rodgers has led us to 2 straight NFC championship games, but there's also how many other players that Goot basically had to build up here, and then obviously they hired LaFleur and
let's sorry, Mike. I got one more comment on that, and then I can move on from it, maybe, depending on what you guys say. But let's say last year at the draft, you're told they don't draft a wide receiver at all. You're going to be upset, right? Because everybody's expecting us to draft a wide receiver. That's what we needed. But you're also told, well, we're going to make it to the NFC Championship. Are you going to be happy? You're not told the result of the NFC Championship, but you're going to make it regardless. Like, you had the number one offense. You just got an extension. You got the number one tackle in the league when he's healthy, right?
Top 5 running back.
Top 5 running back.
Top 2, 3 wide receiver. Top
2, 3 cornerback. You got a really good team that's been built around you, and even though people don't see it and feel like it, you feel like he needs more weapons. What more do you need from the number one offense? Robert Tonyan burst onto the scene. Like,
I think he led tight end touchdowns didn't he?
And so year? Like, I'm just throwing that like towards like, okay, you want your contract. You don't want to be like Brady and dish out money so that we can save here and there. And I never thought I'd be defending Brady over Rodgers, but the truth is he's taken some pay cuts in the past.
No, that's all he did when he was in New England.
Because
he wanted to get the other surrounding pieces, and it's kind of the same thing that. I mean, obviously he's a much older now, and he's not the same quarterback, but he's still.
It's like, what are you upset about?
Yeah,
the wide receiver.
Chris, I got a question for you, because I wanted to, like, it's a known fact that you are a huge Brett Favre fan, like probably the biggest, and you like Rodgers, but like Favre's your guy.
Yeah,
and I would say for me and Matt, Jeremy, I'm not really sure your stance on this, but like I'm a Rodgers guy, like, all day.
I don't know how I feel.
How weird is it that how similar is it from the Favre situation to this? Like how much it's the same, like kind of the same situation.
Yeah, I mean, and I could be wrong on this stat, and I'm about to go in like a figure eight and then probably 2 more circles and then hit a figure eight again because my mind's all over the place with this Rodgers stuff. But in terms of similarities between this and Favre, I could be wrong on this. But I thought they said something like Favre played, I forget, 15 or 16 seasons in Green Bay.
16.
16. And Rodgers is currently at what season?
16.
16.
And Bart Starr. They all played 16 seasons.
And yes, Favre, the retirement thing, I'm playing, I'm not playing, I'm coming back. Like, I get that. That was a mess. I get that the Packers had to draft Rodgers because of Favre being back and forth. But now they did the same thing for Rodgers. He's 37. Let's be honest. Before last season, he had a down year, right? The year before, he had a down year. So you're thinking, okay, maybe he's declining.
Well, his down year was also only like 2 interceptions.
Well, yeah, I get that. But and so then they draft the quarterback, and now here we are, and it's like almost a spitting image of Favre's last year. The only difference is one guy was going back and forth between retirement and couldn't make up his damn mind, and this guy won't even tell us what's the matter. We have to hear it all through the grapevine, and the situations to me are very, very similar in terms of, I'm with Jay Green. Where like, yes, I love Favre. You guys know that, but I do love Rodgers too.
We do.
If I had to pick between the two, you guys know who I'm going to pick. But it doesn't mean I hate Rodgers, right? But
some days that's what it sounds like though.
The biggest thing though that's driving me nuts on this whole situation is if this was all a lie, if there was zero truth to this, he would have said something, right?
Yeah,
I
think so.
And to go with Jay Green's point, and this is why it bothers me, is because the only reason I truly love Favre more than Rodgers is Rodgers always seems to have had kind of like I don't know, he kind of has like this selfish attitude to him sometimes, like, I don't know, like sometimes his mannerisms on the sidelines and things like that. And you guys mentioned it already with Brady. Brady not once has ever had a contract issue. Not once. Where, here's Rodgers trying to get more money. Dude's about to make $38 million and he wants more. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then on top of that, he's mad at the GM for supposedly he loved Kumaro, and then the next day Kumaro gets cut. And then he wants a wide receiver. Oh, well, then we had the number 1 offense. You want linemen. Dude, you got 2 all-pros on your team right now. And we just drafted 3 more in this draft and signed like 4 more in the undrafted free agents, and it to me, I don't truly know what you could be that pissed about, but the one side note to it that even fuels that fire more is you listen to him on the Pat McAfee show, and what does he talk about all the time? He doesn't know where he's going to be. The NFL is a business. He's not in charge of that. It's a business. It's a business. It's a business. But now, here it is, a business situation, and where is he? What's he doing? What's he saying? What's he complaining about? Because at the end of the day, if you're making $38 million to play for the NFC champion Green Bay Packers, what do you have to be pissed off about a GM about? Like, I'm sorry, that's just like, it's like, give me my football, I'm gonna go home. Like, I quit. Like, that's like it's like child play. Like, I just don't understand what he could possibly be upset at. I just
there was an article that came out. I think it's been like. And if you think back about this, the big thing was like he was pissed off that Jake Kumaro got caught after like the day before he came out and said,
okay,
basically praised him. But then the report also said the Jordy Nelson thing, like I'm sure that didn't sit well with him. Randall Cobb, Clay Matthews, and the thing also said that like maybe he wants to have more say in the personnel decisions like a Tom Brady does have. Because Tom had for the last however many years, Tom does kind of have a say as to, all right, Tom, what do you need? Or like,
And I get that, but at the end of the day, it's a business. The Green Bay Packers have to do what's best for the Green Bay Packers, not what's best for Aaron Rodgers. And I know that sucks to hear, but think if Aaron Rodgers had all this say in the Green Bay Packers. And then Aaron Rodgers pulled this shit and just said, no, I'm good. I'm going to go do Jeopardy. And now all these Aaron Rodgers guys are on our team, but our team's not any better. It was only better because of him. You know, like that'd be if Tom Brady right now just pieced out and said, Bucks, see you later. And the Bucks are going to be like, okay. Like, what do we do now? We have all of Tom's guys, but we don't have any guys that we truly wanted. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, at the end of the day, and that's the one thing that hindsight looking back at what the Packers did with Favre, I hated it at the time. I hated it. Looking back at it, thinking at it from a more mature and from a business standpoint, it was genius what they did, right? They needed to have an insurance plan in case he was retired, not retired, whatever. Okay. They need to focus on what's best for the Green Bay Packers now and what's going to be best for them in 5 years. And I don't think making one player happy is what's best for the franchise. I just don't. Even if he is the best player on our team, like I get that. He's the MVP of the league. I get that. But at the end of the day, you can't sacrifice what your team has always been built on and what you're trying to build because one player is unhappy. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't get that. And from somebody that constantly talks about how it's a business and how he doesn't know what's going to be in control of his future and he doesn't know where he's going to be. And now he's upset because the Packers, you know, made these decisions about Clay and Randall and Kumaro and all this stuff. You know, to me, it just, I don't know. I don't get it.
Two more points to this, and then we can. I got a feeling we're going to be talking about this for a long time now. There's probably going to be new stuff coming out every week, but I think Matt brought it up. Like, I wish he would just get on the Pat McAfee show and just air it out. Like, just jump on this because, and Chris, you talked about this too before, saying like how he has that, like, you know, that different tone, or like when he's on Pat McAfee, like that's he's nothing. That's who he is. Like he's nothing like how the media really thinks. And I wish he would just kind of do more stuff like that as well. But last question for all you guys: if Jordan Love is our quarterback this year, how many wins will the Packers have?
Say that again.
If Jordan Love is our quarterback and Aaron Rodgers is not here, how many wins will the Packers have? Again, there's 17 games this year.
That's just so tough because you have no clue what this guy has.
That's what's tough about it. Yeah,
but I would say we're 500 at best.
At best, agreed. I think it's between 6 and 8 wins.
See, I personally think it's more than that. I don't think it's as many as we had Rodgers. I think if Rodgers gets us 10 wins, you know, because our schedule is significantly tougher next year.
It is.
It really is. If Rodgers would have gave us 10 wins, I bet Jordan Love gives us 8. And the reason I'm saying that is because
everything around.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, LaFleur, the one thing we know about LaFleur, I mean, look at Rodgers against the Vikings to start the year last year. Did he make any super amazing, spectacular Aaron Rodgers throws? No. Remember, it was those little jet sweep passes. It was the handoffs. It was an unreal scheme by LaFleur. And with Adams and Tunyon and MVS and now, you know, Amari Rodgers, which we'll talk about in a second, you know, and then you talk about that defense, which basically returns everybody, right? Plus now just got another cornerback to in my opinion, is probably going to start at the nickel. They'll probably keep King on the outside. He'll probably be that nickel back and the slot corner, and they'll end up moving Stokes out. But, I mean, Stokes is just a freak athlete. And so we return literally everybody from a team that went 13-3. Well, and you know, I don't think there's a drop-off, no doubt about it. But I don't think it's going to be as severe based on the defense being solid and based on LaFleur being able to scheme appropriately to play to Jordan Love's strengths.
To add to that, and then I want to know what you think, Mike, about that question, because I think it's a legitimate question at this point. I think you brought up a good point, Mike, about, you know, all these situations. But in that talk show or in that column or whatever it was he read, that they talk about all those guys that were re-signed, you know, the Aaron Jones, the Kenny Clark.
Good point.
Bakhtiari,
and soon probably Jair. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't sign them all. He just
Well, look at what he did when he signed Amos, and both Smith brothers.
He went out and did something the Packers usually don't.
Never do. They never do that. They haven't done that since like Charles Woodson or whatever,
And because of that, where did we end up?
Exactly.
Okay, I mean, just like anyway.
Real quick, because I saw who was it? Jay Adams asked Matt if Rodgers was on the McAfee show. So I went on McAfee's Twitter, and it does not look like he was on today.
But he was with Hawk this weekend.
AJ, he was, and AJ talked about it yesterday.
AJ keeps saying like it's just my opinion.
Yes,
but
he said that there's a 0 chance he retires.
Yeah,
that's what AJ Hawk said.
Well, yeah.
But he also said he doesn't think he'll be in Green Bay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which I mean, who knows? Dustin Gasser made a great point too. You know, he said that. Rodgers sees all these other quarterbacks getting what they want, and that he wants that, and it's underappreciated because he does not get what they get. So as a whole, the NFL teams are kind of corrupting themselves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good point too.
I was kind of thinking of I actually thought about this today, and it kind of reminds me of this. Don't you feel like, and this is just going maybe farther away than what we need to be, but like NBA, a player can whine his way out of a team.
James Harden.
He can bring in.
James Harden this year, he was like he was like 400 pounds.
He can bring in, these super teams or whatever in the NBA. Okay, so do you think the owners are kind of coming together? Like, okay, Deshaun Watson, before all this stuff happened, he wanted to be traded. The owners were like, no. The Texans owner was like, no. Then you have Russell Wilson come out and say, like, he didn't say it, but his camp said that, hey, these are the teams that I want to be traded to. And then, Seattle was like, no. So do you think that maybe the NFL owners now are like, maybe we shouldn't be giving these guys what they want as much? Or do you think there's a certain amount of players in the NFL that kind of move that spectrum that are able to kind of say what they want to do? Or not give any lenient the NBA.
And does any of this have to do with the fact that we don't have a sole owner?
True.
I don't know. That's a good question, Matt. I don't know. Mike, what's your guess on that prediction? And then we probably should move on. It looks like 20 minutes.
That's what I mean, man. We get we're gonna there's gonna be new stuff that comes up probably weekly by now with all this.
What's your prediction on the Love if you were?
I think the Packers would still win the NFC North.
Yeah,
I agree.
Whether that's 12 wins, 11, I don't know, 11 wins. That 17 games isn't really going to mess me up this year, but it's another week of football, which I'm excited about. But, all right, moving on. We're going to move on. NFL draft, Packers draft. I guess overall thoughts with it. We obviously took Stokes, number 1, cornerback out of Georgia. My overall thoughts with it was I thought we did a really good job of kind of filling our needs. They obviously have a guy to compete with our first-round pick with Kevin King. We drafted a center who looks like he could be a first-round or a day-one starter. We've obviously picked up, Amari Rodgers, and then after that we have a boatload of linemen. And then what was really interesting, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but our 7th round pick was this Kylan Hill guy out of Mississippi State. He was a second team all SEC pick in 2019. He rushed for over 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns. He caught 67 passes, and he only had 1 fumble. And if you guys remember back to Williams, did Williams even have 1 fumble as a backer?
No.
So I thought that was kind of a cool little stat. But so maybe start with Matt here. What are your thoughts of the Packers draft picks anyways?
Yeah, I thought we had a really good draft, honestly. I think like we talked about, cornerback, I think he can be a pretty good player on the other side of Jair. Our 2nd round pick, I was just kind of doing a little digging the other day on Sunday. His almost identical, I guess, like combine numbers are literally Corey Linsley. Corey Linsley, sorry.
Yeah.
Same college too.
Same college.
Same
too,
college.
Right? Yeah.
And I really thought us, jumping up in that third round to get Amari Rodgers, that was a really good pickup. I think he's going to be pretty good. And it was kind of cool. I know I don't know if we talked about on the pod how, the Packers are never getting Badger guys, but in the 6th round, we picked up Van Lanen or Lannon, however you say his name.
Yeah.
And I think Rosh or
I didn't know he started 3 years at left tackle.
Yeah, he's a good player. And then Dietzen, I know Rosh said that yesterday. I mean, he's a good player too for Wisconsin. So I thought that was pretty cool. I saw a lot of comparisons to that guy you were talking about there, Mike, that running back, to Aaron Jones. And I think I was just kind of talking to a guy at work today about it. I don't know if it's going to be Amari Rodgers or that guy that we just mentioned, but we need like a return guy. And I think one of those two guys might be able to fill that role that we've been missing out on for many, many years. But yeah, overall, I thought Green Bay had a good draft. Yeah,
I mean, I agree. In terms of positions drafted, I thought we nailed it. I was really hoping for an inside linebacker in 2nd, 3rd round when I saw some of those names sliding, and but I'm not disappointed with who we drafted at all. The only thing that I kind of, the only reason, if I give him an A, B, C, D grade, I'd probably give him a B plus. I thought they nailed it. The only reason I would give them a B plus opposed to an A is sometimes and I'm not an expert by any means. The people in the scouting department of the Packers are way better at it than I am. But, like Stokes, the highest he went in any draft was the end of the 2nd round. He was like the 68th best ranked prospect. And this is CBS, this is ESPN, this is NFL.com, this is all these. That offensive lineman from Ohio State, same thing. There was 4 centers / offensive guards that were ranked higher than him. And so did we reach a little bit to get those guys? Maybe, but the hindsight to that is the Packers got the guys they wanted, right? They did the same thing last year.
And needs.
And I get that. I'm a little sour because they went with that dude from Ohio State instead of my boy from Whitewater in the 2nd round, but I'll get over that. I'll get over it.
You get to watch him every week now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I should call him up and see if he wants to. I got an extra bedroom. He could stay. He could stay for free as long as he gets me tickets to the games.
That'd be so cool. Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think we could afford it though with how much
he eats.
But no, I thought they nailed it. I love. After reading more on him, Stokes is from what everything is saying is just a freak athlete. He ran a sub 10.8 in the 100 meters, just fast as all could be, and that was in high school, by the way. He's just crazy fast, crazy athletic. So I think that's a huge pickup to be able to match up with some of these stud receivers that we're starting to get in our division. With Jefferson and Thielen at Minnesota, and you got Robinson and those guys in Chicago. The Lions always suck, so we don't care about that. But that was
Jared Goff going to lead them.
Yeah,
Jared Goff is going to lead them.
I'm right there with Jay Green and Matt trading up in the 3rd round to get Rodgers. He is what we wanted last year. He's what we wanted this year. He's and the craziest thing is Randall Cobb even coaches him. Like he's trained him a little bit. So the
background with that was Amari Rodgers' dad coached Cobb at Kentucky.
Yeah, now he's with the Ravens.
Yeah. So
and so Cobb has a relationship with him, and to me, they're identical players. Like you watch those highlights, and they use him in the backfield. They use him on quick pass. He's what we needed. We got all these gargantuan 6'4", these dudes that can run, but we don't have that change of pace, quick, shifty little guy. And so I thought that was perfect. I thought whether it's Rodgers or Love, they're going to love throwing to that dude. Because now you look at it, you got Adams on the outside, you got MVS on the outside, you got Funchess, you got Tunyon running down the middle of the field still, and now you got this little speed demon running around.
It's not enough.
It's and then not to mention we have I don't know, a top 5 running back in the league, and a dude that squats 900 pounds backing him up. And so it's exciting. I thought the offensive line picks were great towards the end of the draft. They addressed all our needs. I haven't felt this good after a draft in a while.
I'd agree with that.
I thought they did well.
As Jay Green always says, let's see how.
You never know.
Now we're on the other way. Now we're on the opposite way.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, and I'll keep it short. I just really like the Aaron Rodgers pick. Not only for what he can bring to the table, but he's a leader. His coach Dabo Sweeney just talked him up and was happy about him going to Green Bay, and that's actually where Amari said he would fit best because he does view himself as a Randall Cobb type player as well. But I think getting a mature player to come in right away too, in a sense, does maybe take a step forward from not drafting one last year. Whereas if you were to draft a junior who he didn't have a 4-year and wasn't a captain for 2-3 years or whatever it was, I think it makes a difference, however small or big it may be. So
yeah,
I agree with that.
Kind of two more things to wrap up. Our 4th round pick, this Royce Newman guy, has a awesome mullet. If you guys haven't seen that already,
nice.
But he's got a great mullet. But yeah, just to wrap up on Amari Rodgers, led the ACC with 77 catches in 2020, finished 6th in team history in receptions with 183, and he was a 3-time All-CC pick, including first team pick in 2020. So
yeah, I like it.
I think they said the only thing is that they said he might have lost a step after he tore his ACL, but man, when you watch him play last year, he don't look like he missed a step to me.
Yeah.
But and one thing I saw that's a kind of a side note, but I feel like the Packers draft dudes based on character a lot too. Because how many guys did you see crying after they got picked?
Well, and that's part of it too, man. All these guys are just thrilled just to be drafted. And
Rashawn Gary, remember him when he got picked by the Packers? And then Rodgers gets picked and he's all emotional because he was just so grateful, and so I'm not saying crying means you have a high character, but when you're on that stage with all those cameras on you and you're that emotional, I think it says a lot about those types of guys. And obviously the Packers are doing their homework. So
right.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll
talk some more.
We'll see how it plays out, Jay Green. So, kind of moving along here. They're not a sponsor at all this week, but how good is Greenwood's Cafe in Reedsburg, fellas? We were fortunate enough to.
Yeah.
I mean, we were under the weather big time Friday morning.
Whoa, I wasn't.
Okay. Sorry, Matt. You're just an animal. So, but anyways,
I certainly was.
I was. But
yeah, no.
I don't know. Like Jay Green, you had this on here. I didn't know if you wanted to put anything else.
No,
on there.
I mean it's just
we're just giving Greenwood's Cafe a shout out because we love the people there. We love the food there.
I'll say some. Okay, go ahead, Jay Green.
I was just gonna say, for those who don't know, I'm not related to the owners. Okay, but man,
cinnamon rolls. We had some. We had some too.
I'm allergic to cinnamon, so I didn't. But
no, we didn't. You guys all chickened out. I carb loaded and I hammered that thing. And Tia, it was amazing.
I only had one thing. It was bacon, egg. Just get that in my belly right now, and coffee and water right here. And just filling both of those up.
I just love that they just still rock the straight cash.
Yep.
Straight cash. And I will say my one memory I feel like of Greenwoods is always between it seems like I always had it before baseball games.
Yeah.
In high school before the doc. We'd always go there before the doc invitational. And then, after high school for Pirates, I felt like we were there, every Sunday morning for Pirates.
You guys ate there?
Oh yeah. Most of us usually were, well, maybe not most of us, but a lot of us were probably hungover. So we needed a little something, a little Greenwoods in our bellies.
A good base.
It's the other thing that I love about it is the people you see there.
Oh yeah.
Like there's very rare occasions that you're in there and you don't know somebody that walks in or that's in there talking or whatever.
I didn't know anybody.
I think that might have been my first time.
That was my first time. I did not know a single person there. Jeremy, I know you knew somebody, but
yeah.
Greenwood's Cafe, shout out.
Yeah, just a great place in Reedsburg. I love it. Yeah.
But kind of two final topics here. Brewers had a big weekend. At one point, they did lead the NL, I believe it was, with record. They obviously dropped another game there. But I guess any of you guys, just two things. Overall thoughts of the Brewers and this Christian Yelich situation. He just went on the 10-day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little banged up right now, but just kind of thoughts on both of that.
Well,
go ahead, Jigger.
I'll just kind of list them off here. So Christian Yelich, again today, he's just back from 10. Daniel Robertson, who started some games for us. Jace Peterson, who started some games for us. Josh Lindblom, who is a long relief pitcher out of the bullpen, started some games for us. Corbin Burns, who was our ace. Omar Narvaez, who was off to batting .350 this year. Eric Yardley, relief pitcher. Zach Godley, who replaced Corbin Burns. Manny Pena, who is our best defensive catcher. Brett Anderson, who is our fourth starting pitcher.
Oh, my God.
Kane has been out for times. Hero just got sent down because he's struggling. Guys going up and down, left and right.
Yeah.
And they're finding ways to win. And so in 3 out of 4 out of the World Series camps, I'll take that any day of the week,
Yeah, I kind of piggybacking off that. Like, we're having this great of a start, and we have all these injuries. That just shows you, I think, how deep this team is, and how we talked about earlier. How our pitching we thought was going to be the weakness, and I think that's going to be probably what is going to make us go kind of far in the playoffs.
Yep.
But yeah, I think this whole Yelich situation kind of sucks. They just can't seem to figure it out for some reason. MRI is coming back negative, X-ray is coming back negative. So I think it's one of those things where now's the time. Hey, if you got to sit out a couple weeks now, let's do it. Let's try to get healthy.
Perfect time for it.
Yeah, better to be now.
Hopefully, all these injuries are I'll take them in April and May instead of August, September.
Right, for sure.
And so, yeah, I think if we can get healthy, I think we're a team to reckon with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got anything to add there, Rosh? What wasn't on that list was Abisail Garcia. He's been injured, but got big signing kind of pickups. He's the RBI is with Travis Shaw. We were kind of questioning that addition to start the year. And he's been pretty big for the Brewers, and the thing with Milwaukee, and I don't know I can't speak for other fan bases, but we kind of inherit these guys and really like their brand. And so Mayor of Ding Dong City and what he brings to the table, and T Plush when he was around, and Gomez,
T Plush.
They all have their own brand, and Milwaukee just feeds off of it. And so
El Caballo,
yeah.
Rosh, I want you to because you went to it. We didn't talk about this last week, but you went to a game in Rockies game a couple weeks ago. How was it to be back in a setting like that?
Yeah, good question, Mike.
It was
Jeremy.
awesome. It was awesome. First thing I'll say is downtown Denver's a sketchy place. I'll tell you that. Lots of homeless, lots of drugged out people, lots of people tweaking, and so we got these cool little scooters from Lyft that you could scan, and then it unlocked, and so we just cruised right past all that. But it was a beautiful day. They were playing the Phillies. Got to see Bryce Harper hit 2 home runs and throw a guy out from right field on an absolute frozen rope. I was right behind home plate, and dude, to hear it and always hear that Harper's got a good arm, and you see it on TV. Dude, when you see it in person, it was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Trevor Story hit a grand slam in the game, so it was a super exciting game. But the coolest part about the whole thing was it was sunny. I had a beer. The music is playing.
Probably a $15 beer.
The organist is doing the
Who
thing,
cares?
they're all the chants. They did Roll Out the Barrel. They did God Bless America. They did all the traditional baseball stuff. And it other than the fact that we all had to wear masks, it felt normal, They had these little cute old ladies, though, that had these signs that said, please wear your mask. And the entire game, I kid you not, the entire game, each lady had a row. And they would walk all the way down and all the way back. And all the way down the entire game, just holding their sign. And if your mask was down and you weren't like eating or drinking, they'd just kind of look at you and lean the sign over, and then they just keep walking.
What are you gonna say? Nothing.
Yeah,
they were so adorable.
Put your mask
like
on.
You're not going to argue with them, But no, it was awesome. It felt normal again. They had the radar guns where you could test how strong your arm was, and it was just cool to see all that stuff again. And they're having to ramp it up big time because they're hosting that All-Star game here in
the
the middle of July. So they actually had a whole bunch of All-Star stuff already. Like
how many fans were there?
Oh, good
That's
question.
Going to be a good home run derby.
They were at 50% capacity. So I think at Coors Field, that's like 22,000 or something like that. But I don't know how many were there the game I was. But it was pretty packed. They had all sections open and everything. So
nice. Well, kind of final two topics. Somebody's echoing a little bit. If we could, I don't know who that is, but Cole Caufield. We've talked about him a little bit on this podcast before. Obviously, ex-Badger. He's signed with Montreal. Played a couple of games, but he's got two game winners now. OT game winners. His goal last night, guys, was next level good. It was unreal. And I think Jeremy made a comment. We talk probably way too much on our group chat that we have going, but just like to see him score that goal, and then he was just the way he was celebrating stuff was.
It's like he's a kid.
Yeah. Well, he is, and he's also.
Kid.
It also doesn't help that he's only like 5'6" and 140 pounds, but I don't know if you guys had anything else with that. But.
It's just fun. It's fun to watch.
It's good to see.
Yeah, but just a Wisconsin kid, and I don't know.
Stevens Point.
Yep.
It's just cool.
Yeah.
All right.
The joy on his face both times. Whether anything else happens in his career, it's just cool that he got to enjoy those moments, and he lived in the moment. It's not like he scored and was like, oh, I've done this 100 times before. The dude was just ecstatic, and it was just it was really cool to see.
Yeah. We're gonna and I was before Rosh got on here. We'll tweet it out or we'll do something, but it's so cool listening to the French broadcast, like when somebody scores.
Go ahead, Mike. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not doing it on here, but it's we'll send it out. So, but kind of final topic here, Jay Green. Go ahead.
So I get a lot of. I've been taking a lot of flack for like the activities I've been coming up with.
From who?
And just from people like, you're not doing them, I'm not doing them, and like. No, I'm not doing them. I'm the one researching them. I'm the one putting in the effort and the time to do these.
Fair.
So no, I'm not doing them. Yeah, you're right.
You were embarrassed enough this
yeah. And we didn't really talk about that, and
we didn't, but Lucas Tudo, and who was our other winner?
Eric Canal.
Yeah, Eric had it right on, and Tudo I think was like he guessed 109. Jeremy obviously shot at 108. But
I didn't miss many balls though, right, guys? I mean that's factual.
That is factual.
Yeah. And you hit the two most amazing shots in the history of golf.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You want to go ahead.
I'll share it.
Pump my tires a little bit here.
I have
pump my tires a little bit here.
I'll pump them up right now. So Jay Green busted out the putter about, I would say about 20, 25 yards in the fairway from the green. The pin was like back of the green too. So like it had to have been a 40-yard plus choice with the putter, and he just rifles it. And we don't think it's going to get anywhere close. No chance. He hits the pin and it rolls probably 6 inches past the hole.
Yeah.
Like it was the most amazing thing I've ever, from like 40 yards away. And I thought that was going to be the most amazing thing I saw until we're playing and it's windy. The wind's blowing. Jay Green, I don't even remember what club he got.
You'll
don't
never
remember.
do this again. Nobody will ever do this.
He I don't know if it was a pitching wedge or what, but we were relatively close to the green. He was in the rough, and he drilled the ball. Like, he hit it on the bottom of his club, and it was just a missile. Just it would have flown 70 yards past the green into the woods. Like, it would have been gone forever. And the wind was blowing the actual flag straight out to the side. And Jay Green not only had the perfect height and accuracy left and right, but it hit the flag and dropped down to about 5 feet from the. It was. I've never seen anything like that.
I've never seen that.
70 yards past. It probably would have added 4 or 5 strokes to that hole. And those
got a double bogey.
Those 2 shots alone probably saved him 8 to 10 shots. And I don't think I'll ever see anything like that again. Like, you literally hit the flag with a missile and it just dropped straight down. Like, how does it, like, I don't even think you could try to do that.
You
like,
know,
it was unbelievable.
As embarrassing as it was and as uncomfortable as I was when you were videotaping specifically, I had fun with you guys. So, all right, let's do this. So each of you are going to get 2 questions, true or false. Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Mike. In Sweden, when you give blood and it is given to somebody else in an emergency, are you told that your blood has been given to that person?
True.
Correct. In Sweden, you are told when your blood has been delivered to somebody specifically. Really? Yes.
Interesting.
Adolf Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
True.
That one was too easy, wasn't it?
I was just saying.
I think I knew that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was some guy. Actually, I didn't mean to do this, but some guy from Sweden actually nominated him as a joke, and hopefully it didn't turn south for him. But okay, Chris or Matt?
Rosh.
Okay. Chris, the most widely printed book in the world is the Bible.
I'm going to go true.
False.
What is it? Dictionary?
It is the IKEA handbook.
Shut up.
Yeah, I was stunned and shocked. Look it up, and I guess you can.
I believe you.
Call me out, I guess. But yeah. Sliced bread was invented in 1901.
Ooh.
This is pretty specific.
True?
False. 1928.
Oh,
my
loser.
27 years off.
I should have known that. What an idiot.
Jesus.
All right, Matt. Blue whale tongues weigh as much as an elephant.
Oh my God. Okay. God, elephants are pretty big.
They're pretty big.
Blue whales are pretty big.
They're pretty big. Both are pretty big.
I'm going to go with false.
It's true.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I have no clue if that doesn't make any sense, does it? I mean, that's a gigantic tongue. You imagine that? As big as an elephant? All right.
So random.
Yeah, where do you find
you guys processing that question was hilarious, though. Well, elephants are big. Well, blue whales are big.
Okay. The Eiffel Tower was intended for Paris.
Say that again?
The Eiffel Tower was intended for Paris.
Was intended?
Yeah.
False.
Do you know where else it was intended for?
I'm going to take a stab at it and say LA.
That's a terrible guess. Barcelona.
Oh, Jesus.
Barcelona. I have no, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you guys engaging in my activities. I think they're fun, and we're going to continue to do them. So
yes. All right.
All right, guys. Well,
cool.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of the Berg Boys podcast. We appreciate everybody tuning in for another week. As always, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Give us a like there. Follow us along. Also, leave us a review on Apple Podcast, and we're also on Spotify as well. So until next week, we will see you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a good one.
See you guys.